Bad logos aren't always such a bad thing because sometimes they draw the most attention. Jaguar. Now Jaguar isn't the only one. In recent time we've had some pretty rough rebrands, but that stops today because Fiverr gave me 500 buckaroos to spend on this video and hire 5 graphic designers who are going to fix some of our recent redesigns. Starting with, you guessed it, Jaguar. So this is the Jaguar logo that we all know and love. This is what they've had for as long as I can remember. And now, whoop, this is our new logo. It is drastically different. Even if you're not a car person at all, you can see why this may have sparked a little controversy. And this is their new brand. It says copy nothing. That's their slogan. And it's very edgy, kind of strange, to be honest with you. The problem with this logo is it's just kind of the complete opposite of their existing brand. They didn't pay any respect to their brand at all. I mean, this looks like maybe like a beauty logo. I don't know, it's very strange. There's not a single car in this logo announcement at all. And they're trying to be intentional with this to kind of appeal to a younger audience. Very interesting. Here is the old growler that was on like the front of the car, I guess, and now it's been replaced with a monogram. Again, very elegant, but friendly, bubbly. We've got this strange like uppercase, lowercase thing going on. The font is just very bubbly. It's very round, and it doesn't speak to their former audience at all. The people who buy Jaguars, the existing customer base. Now they have declining sales right now, which is why they're trying to make this bold, drastic move to change. But I'll be honest, I don't think Gen Z has enough money to buy Jaguars anyways, especially these new electric cars that they're pushing out. So to solve this problem of this crazy redesign, we are going to go back in time to last week when I hired a guy named Lewis Key. He is not my friend yet, but he will be after this. Lewis is a professional graphic designer. He says, "Hi there, I'm a graphic designer with 5 years of experience in a leading London-based logo agency. Very fancy. My manifesto, good design is less. Less is more. Less is bold. Bold is experimental." I see what he's doing here. I think this is like one of those acronym things. Maybe not. For $130, he's gonna give us a PNG or a vector file in 2 days. Please enter the name of your company, Jaguar. Then for an optimal experience, please complete this short questionnaire about your logo, videoask.com. This is new.
The better you answer this questionnaire,
Wow, he's got good production value. So I'm gonna ask Louis here to act like he is the marketing agency that was contacted by Jaguar to redesign their logo. And the message I'm writing to him is that he needs to redesign it to appeal to both markets, classic car buyers and something that's a little bit younger and trendier for their new market share that they're trying to achieve. I'm telling Lewis to execute this logo to pay homage, is the H silent? Execute this logo to pay homage to Jaguar's original logo while accomplishing a fresh redesign for a trendier audience interested in electric vehicles. Send. I feel like for $130, we're getting a like legitimate branding agency touching this, which is kind of cool. At least that's how he's advertising it. And we've got our logo back from Lewis. I'm very excited to show you it. He said, based off your brief, he refined the silhouette of the Jaguar and he added modern cutouts, aligned it with the younger, trendier EV audience while still honoring the original logo's heritage. That's the big problem. They didn't honor the logo heritage when they rebranded. Lewis, what did you do? Let's see it. Whew. This is what we got. How much should we spend? $130. Not too bad, Lewis. I actually really like this logo, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is totally unbiased and genuine. If you look at these 3 logos, I feel like this freaking one is the winner, clearly. The Jaguar original logo was great, but I understand why they wanted to freshen and modernize it, and that's what this did. Lewis took their existing logo, he flipped it, which I think makes sense because it's moving forward now, kind of into the future. He made it aggressive still while keeping the modern, minimalistic, simple logo design. I also really like the font that he chose. It's very electric, which again, this fits a classic car company very well. It teeters right there between a car, like a Bentley, and like a tech brand. It could go either way, which I think was a really great choice. Some criticism I could give him, there's a couple of uncomfortable, sharp points. It gets a little tight right there in that spot. That gets a little tight, and this is obviously just really uncomfortable points just from a graphic design standpoint. For $130, that's not bad. And compared to the new logo, I definitely have a favorite. But I will say, this redesign is not gonna get the attention that this one did. He also sent the same logo in the inverted color palette, and you can see that blue really well. I think it's a good looking logo. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Out of these three logos, which one would you rather Jaguar use? This is the new Pepsi logo. You might not even notice it really changed. When I first saw this on the shelves, I kind of thought it was like a temporary thing because it is clearly a retrofied logo. Making a retro logo like this is very trendy. It's what a lot of companies are doing. Burger King reverted back to their old logo as well, which is pretty interesting. This was the Pepsi logo that we had since 2008, and now this is what we have officially now moving forward is this retro logo. And when I say retro, I really mean retro. Look at this. This was their logo from 1987. It's also very similar to the logo in 1973. It's basically the exact same logo of 2024. Pepsi did not change much. They just brought this thing back. Now, there's really nothing too wrong with doing that. Again, Gen Z is the era of nostalgia, retro, Stranger Things. I mean, you kind of get the point. The 80s is trendy today, and if Pepsi are trying to be youthful, I see why they're trying to retrofy a little bit. The problem comes in is that this logo from 2008 costed Pepsi a whopping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. It came with this crazy brand guideline kind of document that compared the logo to like the Mona Lisa. I think it was satirical. I know there's like stuff in here about how the Pepsi logo is like the center of gravity in the universe. It gets a little ridiculous. Here it is on the Tesla semi-truck, which they do use. And the other thing for me is this logo looks really good when it's mocked up in 3D like this, but when you actually just look at the flat logo, it's not as impressive. It's kind of amateur. This is Jawad. I think he's got some really good looking stuff here. And Jawad, for $100, is going to redesign the Pepsi logo. I'm gonna ask Jawad to see what he would do if he was the branding agency that Pepsi had originally chosen. And for $100, we're gonna find out if a professional graphic designer off of Fiverr can create a better logo than the $1 million branding agency. I'm pretty excited to see what Jawad does with this. So we've got Jawad's logo back. He said, I wanted to create something that feels both fresh and timeless, staying true to the energy and essence of Pepsi while adding a modern twist. The design I came up with embraces playfulness and motion, inspired by the flow of water, symbolic of refreshment and vitality. I kept the circle, but gave it a minimalistic and modern edge. This is a futuristic yet approachable feel, reflecting a brand that's always moving forward while staying connected to its roots. Holy crap, what a freaking presentation. That was really well worded. Let's see what Jawad made. Pepsi, welcome back. When I first saw this logo, I remember my reaction was kind of like, oh, all right. It's different. And now I look at it and it's kind of grown on me. I actually really like this logo now. It's pretty cool. Let me show you his entire presentation he gave me. This is really what sold me on it. Seeing it on the can, that's freaking dope. That looks so cool. There it is on their headquarters mocked up. He's got it on the truck. I liked what he did here with the O in that little banner. I really like it. He totally sold me on it. I love the font. I actually think the font feels very retro. retro, and then the icon feels very futuristic. I don't know, this looks like a rebrand to me. I didn't notice this until just now, but he actually used the same font as their 1987 logo. So he perfectly accomplished what they were trying to look for, which was bringing back this retro logo, but modernizing it and making something new out of it. He nailed it. That's crazy. Here's all three of the cans mocked up together. I am not being biased here. I love this logo so much. It's so cool. I think it's got a lot more personality than this 2008 logo, and I think that it's way more creative than just bringing back the 1987 logo. You tell me in the comments below, out of these three logos, who did it the best? In November of 2023, Reddit rebranded. Big deal. Reddit is kind of the heart of the internet, and this is what they got. I'm a freaking sucker for a 3D logo. The challenge that Reddit was facing, you can see there's lots of colors here. There's a lot of things going on in this kind of video showcasing it. It's not just about the logo, because they wanted a complete brand overhaul for consistency. Reddit has a lot of users, and they're very talented, and they can design a lot of things, and the challenge that they had was that Reddit itself was just becoming a mess. Different logos and different colors. The brand just got very messy. This was the former Reddit logo here on the left, and then on the right is our new modern logo. I think this is really cool. I love the 3D logo. Here it is a little bit bigger. I really like these chat bubbles here that's inside this chat bubble. It just, so much life, so much personality came to this brand, and I love it when brands have personality. I think it's wonderful. The people of Reddit kind of disagree, especially in the D's. People don't like the chat bubbles at all in this font. For Quan, for $25, 25, is going to redesign the Reddit logo. New typography is okay, not great, but I don't understand why they went with both D's having that chat bubble thing. I don't like the 3D, but the rest of it is all right. It's the whole logo, man. Even if Reddit was a more chat-focused app like WhatsApp, I wouldn't have gone with the chat bubbles and the Ds. The shadow on the 3D logo really does look like a beeping neck beard. So let's tell Furquan about this and see what he can do. So Furquan has given us our logo. He basically just said that it focuses on simplicity and symmetry. So let's see, what do we get for our $25? Boom. He gave us three options. This one's the one that I liked the best. I think it's a cool looking logo. It's not bad. It definitely lacks the amount of personality that the new Reddit logo has. So these are your three options really to choose from. I think Furquan kind of met in the middle here a little bit, where he added a little bit more personality than the original one by kind of giving this guy a body, but it's not to the point where it's as extreme as creating a full 3D logo. So I understand where he was compromising a little bit, and then he definitely got rid of the chat bubbles and the D, which is great. Here was the other option that he gave us, which is just the face. I kind of like this one. I could see maybe how it could animate a little bit, like these lines could like rotate and scroll, and then I like the eyeballs on this one better. And then he gave us this option, which is a different typeface, but the same character. Not bad for $25. I'll give him that. You let me know what you think down below. I'm not as excited about this one as I was with Pepsi, but it's not a bad logo by any means. Now, the same agency that created the new Reddit logo also recently rebranded PayPal, and they wanted a new logo that was simple, and boy, did they get it. This is the old PayPal logo, and this is our new PayPal logo. Not a huge change, okay? Basically, they took the italics and they straightened it out a little bit. This redesigned logo costs $350,000, and I understand, you know, there's a lot more that goes into branding than just the logo itself, but it seems like an extraordinary price for not a huge change. And then here's like some of the mock-ups they've made, which really, it's just text. I think the struggle I have with this, which is it's so surprising that the same agency made this and they made the Reddit logo, because there's just no personality to this at all. I mean, the personality died. The only personality it had was that it was italics. Now it's not italics. So it's just kind of crazy, but that's clearly what the client was asking for. Let's go back in time and hire someone to fix this logo. And Bojan, for $120, is going to design our fourth rebrand here, and that is PayPal. The reason I chose Bojan for this particular mission is because you can see right there, his main logo is Payo. So I feel like that's pretty close. He's got a lot of good stuff on here. ECH Traders, Unico. That one's kind of fun. I'm telling Bojan to give PayPal a fresh redesign while not looking generic this time, but still maintaining their signature look. Because I think that the new logo, what it did well is it still kind of looked like their last logo. It wasn't completely different. We've gotten the logo back from Bojan. He said he wanted this to be super minimalistic, but different enough so it could be called a fresh start. He kept the original logo spirit and the colors because he said that's what makes the brand iconic. Let's see what he did. Whew. PayPal. This is the new PayPal logo. Not bad, I kind of like it. I think this font has slightly more character to it than the font that they chose. This is just Poppins. I like Poppins, so who can go wrong with Poppins? And then they went with this abstract kind of icon design, which is kind of supposed to represent the peas. I think that could represent the peas a little bit stronger, or maybe it could represent the credit card or something. It feels a little too abstract. It kind of just feels like a triangle, but it does look pretty good. I like that he mocked it up on the app icon for us. Compared to what we got, these are your three options. I mean, I don't know which one I'd choose, to be honest with you. I do kind of think the rebrand is the best looking logo out of these three options personally, but again, it's just like, was it worth it when you can get this off of Fiverr for $120? It's a tough sell for me. And then let's move on to our last and final logo. You guessed it, Jell-O. Man, I didn't realize this, but Jell-O had declining sales, so Jell-O decided to rebrand the company. It's adorable. You can't go wrong with this. I mean, this was the past Jell-O packaging, and here's the new Jell-O packaging. I mean, that's a huge difference and a major improvement in my eyes. I think they really brought this thing back to the future. They hadn't rebranded in over a decade, so this was a pretty big deal for the company. I mean, I think they nailed it. I really do. I think it's really cool. Again, it brings back the retro look again, like we saw with Pepsi already. Now, I kind of had to search and dig for anybody who is criticizing this logo. Most people agree that this is a resounding upgrade, and there's not much to rag on this thing about. But what people don't like is that this O pops up. I don't know, I think now we're getting a little picky. I can kind of see the argument for it, but it's also the only thing that gives this logo any form of personality. So I kind of like that the O pops up. Regardless, I just wanted to see what would it look like if we gave this another shot. What are some other options that we could do? And for 85 bucks, Kyrule is going to help us redesign Jell-O's logo. He's got some pretty good stuff up here. This is some really good work, and it kind of reminds me of Jell-O's new logo. Pay now. Cha-ching. His mission is just to redesign it with creative freedom. I told him that people don't like the 70s retro look, that's the criticism of it, and they don't like the raised O in Jell-O. Besides that, I'm just interested in seeing what another graphic designer would do with the Jell-O logo. We have gotten our logos from Kyrule. He gave us 3 options, which is pretty cool. He said, in the second concept, I made the letters up and down to make a bouncy feel, removed the unusual gap between the 2 L's, and made it compact but clean and minimal, easy to read. Then he said the third concept is an experiment to make the logo prestigious without losing the playful vibe. He didn't say anything about the first one. Let's check it out. This is nice. It's not as good as the other 2, so let's just get to the other 2. This is so fun. I like this option a lot. This is a really fun Jell-O logo. Like he said, it's bouncy, it's playful. My criticism on this is that my eye goes straight to this E before anything else, so I almost read Jello. And then the third option is really cool. This is like a very 1950s, like he said, it's sophisticated, but it's also modern. I like this one a lot that too, but I definitely think that option 2 closer resembles what Jell-O actually went with and what they might have wanted. Here's sort of our options for the Jell-O logo. This is what they used to have. This is what they actually have. Here's option 2, which kind of matches what they actually have now, and then option 3, which would have been more of like 1950s style. Very cool too, and I think that could have some interesting product packaging. It's up to you to decide, really, in the comments, which one of these 3 you like best. So that's it for the 5 logos that we have fixed using Fiverr today. I actually hired one more freelancer off of Fiverr, and they were the video editor for this. So everything you've watched was edited with a Fiverr designer. And if you want any of these people, just go in the description and there's links to all the people I hired, including the video editor, and use my code Grayson's Graphics for 10% off of your order. Thanks again for Fiverr for making this happen. I think this was a really fun concept, hiring graphic designers to see what they would do, getting 5 different perspectives. If you like this style of video, let me know. And then if you liked this channel, please subscribe, and I'll be back next week with another design video. I'll see you then.